Did someone say Gabriel? Did someone call my name? Did someone call my name? You know, I was there. I was there that day. I looked into this young girl, 15, 16 years old, and I said, "Hey, hello, favored one." And the amazing thing about it was she didn't say, "Why me?" She had these eyes of trust. This look that said, "Yeah, why not me? I want to be the one that delivers the child of God. I believe what you're saying to me." Now, I know in your world today, you're getting all kinds of solicitations, aren't you? Let me just guess. Wounded Warriors? Salvation Army? SPCA? Best Friends Animal Sanctuary? Ed Brandt Retirement Fund? You get that one yet? No? UCMI? And what I found, all those solicitations, people just want your money. But here, the angel appears to Mary, and it's not about money. It's about giving of yourself in a service that upended her life. You know, I know the story of Mary. And I want to thank Jackson for reminding me about my role in this whole story. But you have a 15, 16-year-old girl who had all the plans made she could ever have in life. She was betrothed to Joseph. He's going to start his own carpenter shop. They're going to, make this custom furniture. And all of a sudden, I'm told by the big guy upstairs that I got to go give this message about, "Hey, hello, favored one," and your life is upended. No, the big guy upstairs didn't say, "Look for someone with 3 to 5 years experience." No, let's go for the young person. Let's get that person who is trusting, a virgin, a young girl, like Isaiah prophesied. And her life was just upended. I remember in school, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes, name it, with a baby carriage. That's not what's happening in this story. It's turned upside down. And her life is changed. And you think about Mary. I know we get goosebumps about a child born in a manger and shepherds making their way from afar. And then you have the Magi showing up days later, and you have the angels singing. I sing tenor, by the way. And we're, just see if you're still with me. You're still with me. Tough crowd. And so, she's there. The baby's born. The same Mary, the same Jesus, who stays in the temple when he's age 12. The same Mary, the same Jesus, when Jesus is criticized by his friends for being kind of crazy, talking about the stuff he's talking about. The same Jesus who's betrayed on Monday, Thursday. The same Jesus hung on the cross. Hail, O favored one. I'm not sure that's a favor. I'm not sure that's a blessing. We have this crazy idea what blessings are. It's easy to see, I'm blessed when we have the house paid for, the car paid for, retirement's good, the 401k is thriving, the grandkids are healthy, the great-grandkids are even healthier. And it's say, I am blessed. But what about the folks who lost their job? House repossessed. Retirement is non-existent. The kids are ill. Are they blessed? Or is blessings just when things are going great? The word used by Luke in writing this story is a root of charis, which means grace. And so it's a way of challenging us to look at what blessings mean. Blessings in the sense of how we perceive the world. Because I've met people who have everything and they're easily say, I am blessed. And I've met people who have nothing and they say, I am blessed. What's the difference? Why the disparity? It's not a disparity in belongings, it's a disparity in perspective. There are people who say, why not me? I am here to serve. And if we think service to God is all honky-dory and peachy cream, boy, oh boy, you haven't served the Lord faithfully. Because when you pick up that mantle of love, You try to practice that mantle of forgiveness and redemption, I tell you what, you're going to get nailed. No pun intended. You will get nailed. Because people say, you don't understand reality. You don't know how the world works. You got to be tough. You got to be strong. You got to let them have it. Is that the message of the church? I just see it now, a great sermon series. Let them have it sermon series. No. This season brings out, for some reason, the best of us because we have been blessed. And when I say that, is we've been blessed with the grace that changes our lives and sees the world in a different kind of way. Years ago, when I was a pastor of a church up in Pennsylvania, it was a farming community, and the one farmer, great guy, I would go out there twice a year to help milk cows. That's real work. That's real work. He had like 60 head of cows. And then I had another person in the congregation who raised eggs. Had to go there, had to scrape the eggs off, polish them up, put them in the thing. Did that for a couple hours, did that twice a year. That's real work. But going back to the guy who had the cows, we'd milk the cows in the morning. I'd get there 4:30 in the morning, be done by 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then his wife would make this fabulous farmer's breakfast. Not the kind you get at Skillet's, believe me. It's a real farmer's breakfast. And they had a little son named Brian. And one of, I think, 4 kids in the family. And Brian was born with Down syndrome. And the parents told me several times what it was like to have Brian. There on that maternity floor, there were children born in other rooms. Now, you define what healthy is. I'm not going to define that, but I guess what people saw as healthy, and people brought balloons, they brought cars, they brought flowers, they celebrated these other kids being born. Nobody came in to see Brian. Nobody. No flowers. No cards. No balloons. Nothing. But those parents, when they look at Brian, they would say, we're blessed. We're blessed. Because it was grace. Why not me to show love to a child like this? Why not me to raise a child and give him the things that he needs? Why not me to do all of this? Why not me to love him? Why not me to protect him? Why not me to provide for him? That's what Mary's saying. Why not me? I know that being blessed, shown grace in life, it turns our world upside down. And when we think about life in the church, we think, oh, things will be great. Well, you know what? Things aren't always great in our lives. They're just not. People have surgeries. People get cancer. People die. Children do stupid things. Parents do stupid things. And it's not always honky-dory, but we are blessed not because of what we have done. We are blessed by what God has done. Hail, O favored one. Now, the other part of the story is, it might be a little troubling for some of you, because earlier on, I show up to Elizabeth, Gabriel. Now, Elizabeth's about 85 years old. She's barren, has had no children. And I show up with some great news. No sooner has she blown the candles out on her birthday cake than I show up and say, hey, guess what? You're going to give birth to a child. Now, how many of you, 85 and older, would like that piece of news? Hail, O favored one. I can see your spouse coming home and saying, John, I have some news for you. But what this whole story talks about is the sense that we are all given this pregnant possibility in our lives, where hope springs eternal. And there's a sense that God will intervene and give us hope and use us in ways that accomplish God's purpose and God's mission in the world. And the personal decision that each of us have to make is, here I am, send me, Lord, or not. Being sent by God, it's not always roses. To go there and sit with someone at a hospital and they ask the question, why me? And you have no answer. Or a child is lost, why? No answer. And the command by God is to be present and to love and to abide. Emmanuel, God with us. We make that real in our lives every single day. So you think of those words, hail, O favored one. It's great for the story. We love the fact that Mary doesn't shy away from it. She says, why not me, basically, and she's in, all in. But for us, it's who to write the check to. It's easy to write checks. But to be of service, even our retired years, to be of service in some small, dynamic, life-changing way is to be a blessing to someone else who needs that. Vincent van Gogh, long before he was long before he was an artist, he was a pastor. And he was working in a mining town. And one cold February day, he saw this old man coming out of the mine with, dirty clothes and hungry. And so Van Gogh gave him another set of his clothing, gave him some of his own food to care for this miner, this old miner walking out. He was so passionate and so zealous in his faith that he wanted to be a favor, to show grace to the old miner walking out. And the reaction of the religious authorities to whom he was responsible was like, we can't have you be that zealous and that passionate, and he got fired. And that maybe gave birth to his art career, I don't know. But can we be too zealous? Can we be too passionate about being the favored one of God? The favored one of God is not a place of honor, so to speak, like you sit at the right hand of the Lord. It is being one who is a servant. And she endured persecution. In Matthew, Joseph quietly considered to divorce her, which did not happen. She has shepherds show up in the middle of the night, born in a manger. Angels sing. What a night. Hail, O favored one. It's my bedtime. Leave me alone. Being blessed is not that simple an enterprise, because it causes us to look at our lives and see how we're responding to God's call to serve. And that's a challenge. Hail, O favored ones. For you and you and you have been called to serve and be a blessing. Amen. Now you may want to turn to page number 185 because all the music's not in the bulletin, unless you have it memorized.